Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Listener Else podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Olivia.
You know what else you are? Late.
I'm late. I know I even suggested the time, but I'm on a lot of painkillers right now. I got everything confused. So sorry.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Olivia, I'm doing stuff later tonight, so could we do podcast sometime before 8? She was like, yeah, let's do it at 5. So I get on at 5. And then she's sometimes a little bit late, so I fire up WarioWare, which just came out. I'm playing WarioWare, and then I
hmm
realize that it's 5:30. I'm like, okay, time flies when you're playing WarioWare, and I'm frustrated because no word from Olivia.
Yes.
So I had to
But
remind her of her own time.
but
So
as soon I responded to your message as soon as I saw it. It was very fast, and I was like, "Oh no, I've messed up. I've made a mistake." But we're here, and I think this is the energy that we're gonna go with today. I'm very sorry for everything. Um.
well, I'm sitting on an episode that I haven't even started editing. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
I did a replacement episode when you had your COVID scare. So
But I don't have COVID.
yeah, this is a COVID scare.
Yay. Yeah.
Blah.
That's like the last time I ever do a favor. I did a favor for my family member, and I had to watch her child for like 3 hours. That's all I had to do. And I was like, that sounds easy. I'll do it. And then, you know, it's going great. And then all of a sudden she starts like sneezing. And I was like, oh, maybe she's just, I don't know, maybe she got allergies. Maybe she's just sneezy. And then she sneezed on me. And I was like, oh, cool. This is fun. And then I like washed everything. I made sure everything was sanitized. And then the next day, I have a sore throat. And I was like, oh, dang, maybe I don't know. I was like kind of in denial of everything. And then the next day, I was like, I can't smell or taste anything. And also, I'm really tired. I was like, is this COVID? I was so upset at everything. Turns out, no, it was just a cold. My body it was just overreacting. So that's fun. That's how my last 2 weeks have been.
Yeah. Once again, if you're grasping for any kind of moral of this podcast, if we have any kind of like thesis, it's that children are awful. Because we had to spell it out for you. There you
Yeah,
go.
leave children. Just don't ever mess with them. They'll get you. So annoying. Um, but so like 3 weeks ago, I had a very eventful week where I took a job, and in that week I met some interesting characters, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna write down some notes that I think are funny. But it's been like 3 weeks since then, and I kind of wrote them vaguely, so I don't really know what they are. So I just don't know what they are, and I thought it'd be fun for us to like figure out what I meant.
Okay.
Uh, and so they're like 5 notes. So the first one is comedy specials in public. And I actually know exactly what this one is because
Okay. Okay,
it's
this
so
will be
vivid.
our tutorial.
Yeah, this one is so vivid in my mind that I think it's so funny. So comedy specials in public. Ryan, what do you think that could refer to?
I don't even know what your job was or who you could have been around or anything.
It
I can only take that literally, and I don't
well,
know why or how.
so we were having lunch, and we're all like, socially distanced, so we're all like at our own tables. So about like 10 feet away from me was this guy, and eating his lunch. So we were all kind of ignoring each other, and like halfway through our lunch, I can kind of hear like sounds. So I look up, and the guy's eating his lunch. He's watching something, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, whatever." And I go back to like what I'm doing, and then I hear Bo Burnham singing. I was like, "Oh, is he watching the Bo Burnham special?" And I was like, "That's kind of weird." And then like I'm listening, and now I'm like actively tuned into him, and he's like he turns like the music louder, so he's just loudly listening to Bo Burnham. And like I could tell this is not his first time watching the special, because he is like
He's
lip
singing
syncing to
along.
it. Yes. and like he's I could never watch a comedy special in public because I'll laugh out loud, and I think it's weird to like laugh in public. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. And so he's not quietly like chuckling. He is laughing out loud, Ryan. Just
He's lolling.
yes, he's so loud about it. And I was like, man, like I've seen the special. It's pretty funny. Like it's pretty good. But like I couldn't this reaction in public. And then I paid attention to him for the rest of the week. My focus was him now. And the second day he was watching like an interview, because again, it's very loud and I could hear it. And like, and every time he doesn't do like a quiet chuckle, it is like full body laughter. And it's so funny to me that he is, I mean, I guess he's like, good for him. He's enjoying himself. But like, it's so loud. I don't think I could watch a comedy special in public. I don't know. Can you?
Okay, backing up though, your note was just comedy specials in public.
Yes. And it was just so I remember that guy, just that one guy.
You realize how much better that note is if you just add watching comedy specials in public.
I didn't have time. Just comedy specials in public. I gotta get down to the point. I mean, I could add watching now, but I don't think it'd really do anything.
You're that strapped for time when
Yeah,
making notes about people while people watching.
yes. I was very strapped for time, Ryan. I had to quickly eat my food because there was bees around me. And then a bee landed on my food and I had to throw it away.
Oh, it was
That's what
outside.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it was outside. The second day I was there, a bee landed on my food. I was maybe like 3 bites in. I was like, oh man, okay, let me just like try and save this by like putting that food aside. But then like more bees came.
Bees
Like,
love
dang it.
food.
They really liked Korean barbecue.
Oh shit.
And I was like, well, fine, I guess eat my food. And then I kind of like left it there for a little bit because we had like a full on hour outside for our lunch. And they were eating our food, and I was like, well, I'm hungry. So I went back inside and I just saw other people. They were all like gathered around. I was like, hey, is anyone gonna eat this extra food? And they're like, no, take it. So I took some random person's food. It wasn't even part of my group. It was just random food. I was like, thank you.
I'm
It was
sorry. Bees landed on my food.
I was like, ew, yucky. Bees ate my food.
I
It's like
don't
a
know where
weird.
those bees have been.
It's like a weird like excuse. Oh, I can't eat this. Bees landed on my food. Sorry, I can't turn my homework in. Bees landed on it.
I'm the
Have you
teacher.
been stung?
What?
Have you been stung by a bee?
I've never been stung by a bee.
Neither have I.
Not
And
in
it's
my
like,
life.
no, yeah. And I always feel like maybe I'm allergic.
Yeah, I get worried. Like if I'm out like on a hike or something, as rare as that is, and I get stung by a bee, like am I just gonna die? Because
Yeah, you just like,
I don't have any other like allergies. I'm like barely lactose intolerant. And
yeah.
so
It's like one of my fears is that I've never been stung by a bee, so I don't know if I'm allergic or not.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta give them Korean barbecue as like a peace offering.
Appease them. When I was in middle school, what some of the kids like to do, and I would join them, is they get like bottles, like water bottles or Powerade bottles were good because the opening was a lot larger. And then we would like go out in the middle of the field and then like bottle up a bee. Whenever they land,
What?
we'd just put a bottle over it, and then the bee would
Hmm.
fly up because it'd be very upset. And then we'd
Yeah.
cap it, and then we'd uncap. We'd see how many bees we could get in a bottle, and we'd like uncap the bottle and throw it at someone.
What? That
Yeah,
sounds that sounds crazy.
it's very dangerous. I feel like, but I never got stung doing that. I don't know. I think maybe one person got stung at some point, but I don't remember explicitly anyone getting stung.
That's crazy because I would, if I was a bee, I'd be like, I'm getting one of these kids. That would be my one goal. Like, I'm getting these kids.
I don't
Um,
know if bees are that vindictive.
they should be. We kind of we kind of used to do that at my elementary school. But instead of bees, we'd get spiders, and we for some reason we just had like a lot of spiders, and so we would just like put it down. Then we had like a little drain, like an open drain, and we would like put our water bottle there, and like bees or not bees, sorry, spiders would just like crawl in, and we'd get all the spiders. And we were like, and I guess we would just look at them because I'm terrified of spiders, but I kind of want to see them.
Yeah,
So yeah,
demystify them.
yeah. Um, and so I would like we would all turn like the bottles around and like look at the spider run. It's crazy to think about that now because I could never do it now. I can't be that close to a spider. But
Why
as a
not?
kid, I
It's
was
in a bottle.
fearless. Yeah, but then I think like, what if they get out? What if they remember my
What if
face?
they get out? It couldn't keep itself out in the first place. It's a spider, not an octopus. It can't, like, outsmart anything. Well, I guess it outsmarts flies. But if it can't
That
have,
would
if you, as long as you don't stumble into its web, webs don't even work. You just go right through it.
I think my worst fear would be like a spider with like the intelligence of an octopus.
And the size of a dog. That would be the worst thing in the world.
Have you seen like those spiders, like those like underwater spiders, the sea spiders or something?
You mean like crabs?
No, they're like what are they in Antarctica? I don't know where they are,
Snow
but I saw a
crabs or
video.
something? Yeah, they're kind of. I think I know what you're talking about. They look like daddy
Disgusting.
long legs almost. Except
Yes,
they're.
and I have like a like me and Daddy Longlegs are like at a standoff. Like I see you, you see me. We're at we're like North and South Korea. We're very aware of each other, and if
Tentative
one of us makes
peace, constantly preparing for war.
yeah,
You
I
don't know what
constantly
the
have
other side is doing or thinking.
yeah, but I have Raid with me at all times just in case it gets out of line. We're just it's crazy. I don't like any spiders, and those are the only ones I could like I don't know deal with because I know they're not actively trying to hurt me. I guess I guess no spiders are, but it feels like they are.
Have you ever seen a tarantula in the wild?
No. Oh, gross. No, have you?
Just one time. And it,
Where?
it kind of fucked me up because I was at Cal Poly
Hmm.
and there's a tarantula just like on one of the grassy areas, just like where they just had random grass. You know how colleges are. Every now
Yeah.
and then there's just a random grassy area.
Hmm.
There was a tarantula, and then someone eventually like tossed it into the dry creek bed or something off to the side. And that was in like my first week there. So I was like, "Oh
I,
wow, they got tarantulas here." And
I,
never saw another one. I went on hikes. I've always checked the grass because there could be a fucking tarantula in there. Never saw another one.
Um, if I saw one tarantula, I'm leaving. I I think my first week of living in Arizona, um, we were like getting the house ready, and one of like the guys who was I guess their agent, and he goes, "Hey, did you guys get the place sprayed for scorpions?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a thing. We have to spray our houses for scorpions." And he was like, "Yeah, scorpions, tarantulas, snakes." And I remember turning to my mom and going, "Why did we move here? Why did we leave California to go to this like Wild West place?"
We got no
And
money.
I I've never seen a scorpion there. I've never seen a snake. I've never seen a tarantula. Although our backyard was like had 1,000 like lizards. And I was fine with lizards. Lizards are cool. Maybe they took care of all the other ones. Do lizards eat tarantulas?
I think I've seen the other way around.
Maybe that's why we had so many lizards. There was no tarantulas there.
You need to introduce tarantulas into the native population.
No, I can't do that. That's why we had to move. I was like, this place sucks. Let's get out of here. And we moved back to California. And that's honestly, quite honestly, the best place that I've ever lived.
It's pretty cool. You ever like
I
go to other places and be like, I couldn't do this all the time.
I went to Utah. I was like, this sucks.
Utah sucks. Vermont sucks. I think
North,
I could maybe do Oregon, but I've never been like I've never spent more than a month in the snow. I think that might mess me up.
it's going to like a drastically different climate is insane. Cause like even in like December in Arizona, it was like 79, 75. And I was like, I just wore short sleeves the entire like year round. I hated it. I was like, I give me some hoodies. I love me hoodies. And then we came back here and I was like, ooh, it's August and I can wear a hoodie now. I like this place. Um although snow's fun.
Yeah. I'd want like a car with four-wheel drive, something something that could handle the snow cuz when I went to Oregon in March
Uh-huh.
and I had to take my friends to the airport and it was snowing and I was losing traction and I didn't
Oh,
I did have chains, but I didn't want to put them on because I'm lazy.
yeah.
And I don't know, I've never driven with chains before. It's just a whole mess. It's complicated.
I've I've never driven in the snow and it frightens me because, icy snow is scary.
Oh, watch out. You're gonna slide around.
Well, like I get scared when it starts to rain. I can't imagine just like cold. Now even more cold.
Yeah, we
I
are
don't know.
Californians, huh? I get scared when it starts to rain.
Like I get scared just when I regularly drive. So,
And you
I
should
mean,
be. You could die at any moment out there.
oh jeez. I mean, I say that like I get scared when it starts to rain, but I also complain about people driving when it rains. I'm like, these people don't know how to drive in the rain. That was like my main interactions at Target when I would working as a cashier. People are
Mm.
like, "Oh, it's so crazy." I go, "I know. People don't know how to drive in the rain." I was so good at small talk, Ryan. I
Yeah.
was so good.
And then they go, gosh, I wish people would just learn. Anyway, thanks. And then they put their stuff in their car and then they drive off without turning their headlights on along with
Yeah.
their wipers.
Yeah.
Fools.
I was I was explaining to one of our managers at the time at Target. And he was like, "How your line always seems so happy. How do you like connect to the guests. And I was like, oh, it's really easy. And he's like, what do you do? And I go, I just lie. And he goes, what? And I go, yeah, I just lie. You just lie to them, and it's fine. He goes, what do you mean? And I go, well, if I see someone with like 2 kids and they're like similarly aged, I'll just like, oh, are they brother and sister? And they're like, yeah. And I go, oh, well, I also have a brother, and just just lie. Like, I do have a brother, but like I'll just lie and say like, oh yeah, we're the same age. Oh yeah, we'll do this, and I'll just make small talk up. I'll just make it up, because what are they gonna do? Fact check me? No, they're gonna have a nice time in my line and then leave. I don't understand why people just don't lie.
What's your brother's name? What's your favorite memory of him?
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do?
What's his
I'm
middle
not
name?
gonna
When's his
quiz you.
birthday?
I don't know my brother's actual birthday.
Boo.
Do you know? Not my brother's. Do you know your sibling's birthday?
Yeah. It's kind of easy to. Oh, fuck, it's coming up. I don't know what she wants. I still have plenty of time, actually. My mom got me thinking that. Her birthday's by Halloween, so that makes it
Okay.
easy to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom got me all jumpy, Halloween jumpy, because she's like, "Oh, we gotta get your costumes ready. Da 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 da. What kind of hat do you want for your esqueleto?" what's, what's skeleton in Spanish?
Would you ask me? I don't know. Skeletor? I don't know.
It's not Skeletor.
It's Skeletor. That's it.
Ay, Skeletor.
I I am like the worst person you should ask about any Spanish questions.
Anyways, so yeah, she's got me thinking that Halloween's so close, but it's so far.
It's like what, a month?
Yeah, more
September.
than a month,
September.
month and a half.
I mean, that's pretty close. When you have to do costumes, it's hard.
The end of next month. Our costumes aren't even that hard.
Oh.
We
What,
just like
what do you?
mariachi band and makeup.
Hmm.
I mean, it's probably hard when there aren't any Halloween stores open because it's September.
We never did Halloween as a kid. Because we're like super Christian. It's like a whole nother level. So we never did Halloween.
Didn't dress up as like Jesus or anything. Your favorite Veggie tale.
Dress up at all. I never went trick or treating until I was an actual adult, taking my nieces and nephews trick or treating. It's we did Holla Jubilee. I've actually never said that out loud to someone. Holla Jubilee. And it's like a little fair that we would do on Halloween for like, because you can't go trick or treating. They're like, here's a fair, and each person would like have their own little like station, and then you just win candy. We'd have like buckets of candy that people would win, and it was really fun. But and you'd get a lot of candy.
What about trick or treating is not Christian?
Like, I didn't make the rules, okay? I just followed.
I could see like dressing up as the Reaper or the Devil or Jeffrey Epstein or something. That's not very Christian, but going around asking for candy, I don't think is the most sacrilegious thing you could do.
I think it was just the act of it being on Halloween. They're like, no. So here's a little fair that we have, and sometimes it's pretty cool.
Fairies
I mean, it was fun at a time. We used to have one time we had this guy bring like his ice cream truck, so we were just selling ice cream there. It got pretty big at a point.
It's Holla Jubilee. Holla Jollibees. You could get Filipino fast food.
It was, yeah, they were pretty cool. And then we would have candy left over at my house because, my dad organized it so we'd have candy at our house for like months. And then every day we'd come home, and I was like, "You guys did your homework? Go get some candy out of the Hollow Jubilee bin."
Candy.
And at a point, like the barrels were so big, my cousin would have to like lift me up to like go into the very bottom of the barrel. They're great. See, I love Hollow Jubilee. Now that I'm talking about it again, I love
Hey,
it.
bring it back. Bring back Hollow Jubilee.
Hollow Jubilee. Yeah.
Show
If
proof
we
of
ever,
vaccination for Hollow Jubilee.
if we ever have it again, Ryan, you gotta come. You gotta come to Hollow Jubilee.
When I was in elementary and middle school, I had this friend who would like go to church, and we didn't go to church, but he would always ask us if we wanted to go to like the cool stuff that his church was doing. And we were always
Yeah.
like, "Fuck yeah, we'll go." So we went to a couple fairs, won some goldfish,
Yeah.
went
Oh,
bowling.
nice. Yeah. There's this church that I didn't go to, but it's like a church that like my grandma goes to. So it's like deep family like vibes. Like all of my other family went, but we didn't.
Oh.
And I went to that church one time, and I never went again because they had like a little fair thing there, and they're like, okay, you gotta like bob for apples, but in the pool with the apples there were like goldfish, and they're like, hey, don't get the goldfish, haha, isn't this fun? And and
What?
I was like, I don't. Yeah, they just had goldfish and apples like mingling, they're all touching, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Um, but like my cousin was there, and he's like, I'll do it. And the first, like, as soon as he like put his face in the water, a goldfish swam in his mouth. And then he quickly was like, we gotta go. We gotta leave this church.
I don't like it. That's not. Who's enjoying that? Everyone. Nobody. Not the
You know?
goldfish. Not the
And it was
goldfish
like,
eater.
yeah, and it was like a relay race, and that was the last one. You're like, well, no one's gonna win.
What if someone should have just like bit into the goldfish and like chewed it up with their mouth open, just to show to everyone how barbaric, how
They'd
evil that is.
there'd be a prayer circle formed around that person in like seconds. It'd be so fast.
Just use like rubber goldfish or something.
I think as like being the kid that I was, and my dad being who he was, we like traveled, up and down the coast, going to different churches for like a certain amount of time, and seeing other people's churches is insane to me, because some churches like go hard. Like there was a church that had like a whole like children's section just for kids, no adults allowed except for the teachers. And they made it to look like Italy. It looked like Italy. There was like a fountain in the inside, and I've in my head I'm 26 years old, and that is probably the coolest place I've ever seen.
Mamma mia.
It's so, and they had it's like you're walking down a street, and then they had like houses painted on like the walls, but then when you see like the houses, you see like doors, and you go up, open the door, and it's like an actual room. It was so cool, and I was like, can't we stay here forever? As a child, it was fun. I don't think I could live there though. Too many weird people. But it was fun at the time.
Uh,
Oh, did you want to hear my second note, right?
Oh yeah, we haven't Yeah, okay, so that was note one. What's
That
note
was
two?
no notes two was um my girlfriend is from Canada.
Okay, so someone said that. That is a quote, I'm guessing.
Yes. Um this thing sparked a whole issue that I didn't realize was a problem. I didn't realize was like an actual issue. First off, have you ever heard of the phrase or have you ever heard my girlfriend is from Canada?
No.
No.
I
Okay.
think I think Nikki asked me something about this at some point,
Well,
probably due to your involvement. Friend of
yes.
the podcast, Nikki.
Yes. He was on the podcast.
Hmm.
So I overheard two people say something, and he was like, "Yeah, oh, my girlfriend did this." He was like, "Oh yeah, we should all get together." And he said, "Oh, that'll be hard because my girlfriend is from Canada," and that was all that was said. And in my head, I was like, "Oh, that's obviously a lie. I don't think he has a girlfriend." That was like my automatic assumption. And for some reason, I don't. For some reason, I brought this up to my other friend, and he was like, "Yeah, my girlfriend from Canada. Obviously, it's a lie because that's like an old that's like just a saying. Like my girlfriend goes to another school, you know, like that kind of thing." And then I started asking other people if they also had this shared memory of like that my girlfriend is from Canada, and everyone I asked, Ryan, all of our mutual friends said no. They do not remember this.
Hmm.
I I called people. I hate calling people. I called people that I haven't talked to in months and years even. And I called them to like get to the bottom of this because I was like, how do you not have this like I thought it maybe it had to be like on TV or something. And that people I don't know where it's from now. And then I started to look it up, and then there was like, oh yeah, there's like a musical that says it's like one of their song titles. I was like, well, that's not where I got it from.
What?
I didn't listen. It's yeah, and then it went all the way back to like John Hughes movie, like The Breakfast Club. I guess they mentioned it, and I was like, is that where I got it from? But I have no idea. I didn't watch John Hughes movie. I don't care for them, but I don't know where I have this idea that my girlfriend from Canada is like a saying.
I don't think it is. I think you're
But
just
then
being a dingus.
no, it's no. I there's like three people that have said they also know it as a saying. But then I have like 50 people who say no, it's not. So I want to know where me and these three other people have the connection. Like where did we get that from?
Maybe you
And so
all have this same disease where you can't remember a quote correctly.
no.
Because you definitely have that 1,000,000%.
I think because I don't remember quotes correctly. I think because I say them so many times, I change them to like different situations, and then that just becomes more funnier.
You
It's more
just
funny.
say them wrong.
Like what is the thing we say? Oh, like someone's like angry or like they have like a bad attitude, and we'll say like, oh yeah, someone's being stinky.
I was being a little
That's a quote.
stinky.
Maybe
Stinker.
they're
Let's
being
be
a little stinky.
stinky.
That's from a movie quote, and it's just I've got it from that movie, and then I've just changed it, and now it's to you're being stinky,
Being a little
and
stinker.
it's so fun. I love saying that someone's stinky. I love it. I think I was talking to one of my friends, and they were like upset, and they were like and they were kind of like being like they're being stinky, and they were, and I was like, hey, you're kind of stinky today. And their whole attitude changed. Like, yeah, I guess I'm being a little stinker. And like their whole attitude changed. Like, see how the power of just calling someone out on their stink? It really changes people.
I lean into it.
Yeah.
I try to get even stinkier.
I think you were the first person I called stinky. And that makes sense.
I
Right?
would be stinky.
You were. I forget. What were you? You were playing Astroneer, and you were getting really stinky. I was like, Ryan, stop being so stinky.
Well, you guys just go out and get research modules, and that's it.
See? Stinky
It's the
vibes.
one thing. How are we supposed to progress when we just research? We
I,
need
I,
materials.
I still don't 100% understand that game. I
Me
don't know.
neither. They updated it a bunch since last I played, so I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, they added a
I
bunch of
played
bullshit.
I played like for 2 days, and
Oh yeah,
one day I played for like 6 hours.
yeah.
And then as we were like signing off, I was like, I don't know what I did this entire time. I don't know how the 6 hours passed. Um, it's just I don't know. I don't get the game. It's not for me. Some games are for me. Some games aren't.
Mindless exploration.
Maybe
That's
that's
the
it.
name of the game. You gotta
Uh,
like look at it and be like, wow, fun. I don't know.
oh, okay. Number three. Number three is actually a thought that I had after I heard someone play Chingy's. Do you know
Sorry,
Chingy?
what?
Chingy. Do you know Chingy? The
No, is
artist
that a
Chingy.
slur?
No, it's like Chingy makes a song like right there.
What?
Do you don't know who Chingy is?
No.
He's like the song. I mean, I don't know how to show you. The artist Chingy. He has a song called Right There. And it's like, oh God, I I don't know how to tell you this. I don't know how to explain it to you.
What is the significance of this song? Wait, what's going on? This is all for part 3?
Yes, all for part three. I heard someone playing an old song by an artist named Chingy. How old is this song? It's not super old, right? Hold on. I don't think it's super old. It is. I had to look it up. It's what 2003. It is old. Wow, it has like over 116 million plays. That's poppy. This song's a banger. Anyway, Chingy has a song called Right There, and someone was playing it while I was on lunch. And I was like, man, that's an old song. Which prompted the question that pops up in my head. I wonder how Chingy's doing. And then I
Okay.
had
So that was the note. I wonder how Chingy's
I
doing.
wonder how Chingy's doing. Which look, I don't know how he's doing. How is Chingy? First off, why is his name Chingy? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
And has he done anything since then? We have a 2015 album. Ryan, I got Ryan. We may have to cut this short. He was on Fast and the Furious too.
What the
Sorry,
fuck?
he
He's
was on
been
the
so
two.
busy.
He's been on the Too Fast, Too Furious soundtrack.
Oh god
Good song.
damn.
Okay, Chingy popping off. Oh, it's actually not that great of a song. Okay, never mind. Chingy's dead to me.
Oh,
Should have put out a banger.
poor
Um,
Chingy. I
for
believe in you, Chingy.
um, oh, second, then fourth note. This is the last note that I have,
Okay.
and this is less. This is just what someone was telling me. So my friend has started to like. I don't know. She's like started to like use like Tinder, and she was like, "Hey, I this is a weird thing, and I don't know if I should say this." And I was like, "Oh, okay. This is a like I'm already immediately intrigued when someone is unsure." I was like, "Yeah, a safe." I was like, "Safe space. You could tell me, and I'll just I'll say it on our podcast." And she goes, "Okay, I'm on Tinder, and it's so hard to tell people apart." I was like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, she's like, it's just hard to tell people apart. I was like, okay, I guess. I guess kind of. And she goes, no, I'm going to show you 3 pictures and I want you to pick the person out in each picture. And I was like, okay, sure. Send me 3 pictures. I picked out a person and I was like, is this the person? She goes, no, that is not the same person. I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. This is hard. And she goes, it's extremely difficult. And because every picture she sent me was just like 16 white guys. They're all in like it looks like they're all in a frat. And it's Ryan, it's so hard to tell people apart. Because they're all dressed.
Yeah,
What's up?
you have to get to know them on a personal level.
Yeah, like the thing is, they give in like on like Tinder like bios, they give like 3 blurry pictures of themselves, and then they give like super clear group pictures. How are you supposed to know who's who? Take better pictures. That, you know what? That's my thing. Take better pictures for your dating profile sites.
That is true.
Because
get a professional.
Get a professional. For yours, I had to like scrounge up all the pictures I had, give you every single picture that I had of you.
Have friends who will take pictures of you just out in the wild. Those are the best.
Yeah. Just off the cuff pictures.
Yeah. Don't ask for consent. Ask later.
I have this thing where I like to take pictures, not good pictures, mind you, just like to take pictures. And our friend, your friend Nikki, my friend, I'm more your friend. I don't know. I don't know.
Our friend, no, just your friend. Why would you do that to poor Nikki?
Sorry. For a long time, I didn't know we were friends or not. And Nikki said something, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my good friend Olivia," and I was like, "Me?" He goes, "Yeah, you," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're friends now." And he goes, "I thought we were always friends," and I was like, "Yes, yes, we were always friends. I'm so sorry I didn't know." I felt really bad in the moment. But both of our good friend Nikki,
yeah.
I just have a whole bunch of pictures, and he was like asking for pictures, and I sent him like every picture that had what he was looking for, and then he was like, "I don't know how you have all these pictures of me,"
so many
and then I had
pictures.
to like. And it's weird that he was so confused that why I had all these pictures, because he sent me an email with professional pictures that he had done, and he goes, "Here, have these."
I'll need them from you later.
Yeah, he was like getting ready. I was like, I have a lot of pictures of you. I have a lot of pictures of most of our friends that I just like spring up every now and then. It's always fun. I have like a whole board of pictures. I have a picture of you in a box, right?
Hell yeah. Yeah, you sent that to me.
It's fun when like Snapchat will tell you like, "Hey, you remember this day?" And most of the time I don't remember. So when it pops up, I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's when I made like a fort in the back of our."
I remember that. I think you've sent that to me like every year after
Every
that.
time, it's very funny to me because I think we had like so much like product, and they're like, "Just do something with it." So I made a fort in the back
I
of.
don't think that's what they meant, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I made a fort in the back, and then you weren't even working, but you came in the back and you saw me taking my break in the fort, and you said, "Can I come in?" I was like, if you can find a way to get into it, sure." And like you had to like crawl on the floor. You're a dirty floor boy.
I live in the stink. I'm a little stinker. That's what I do.
A
I'm
little
a
stinker.
dirty little floor boy. That's me.
That was, and that, like that. I think that memory is one of my favorite memories. It's just because I feel like it's very it's very fitting. That's how like my time at working together was. I would do something dumb, and then you just yes and it. You're like, you made a fort.
That's what
I
we
will
do.
crawl on the ground now.
Target Cafe was the ultimate improv exercise.
Sure, yeah. I think one time you were doing like an impression of something, and you did it for so long that when you actually had to take care of a customer, I'm sorry, you had to take care of a guest.
Yeah,
It
customer,
shocked
yeah.
me. It shocked me when you went back to like your normal voice. And I
I
was like,
would
oh
do
yeah,
yappy.
yes, and
I
it
am from
shocked me.
old country.
You did it for so long, Ryan, that I forgot what you sounded like. I was like, oh yeah, that's what he sounds like.
Yappy
He's
cannot wash dishes. My hands are so brittle they will crumble like pastries in water.
yeah. And then you did that for like 5 more hours, and then I would
Oh,
leave.
does Olivia work on Fridays too? Oh no, not this one. Okay. Well, don't hit your fifth.
Do you remember? I think I've talked to you about this, but when you pretended to have an accent at the same time another person, like I guess we found out that, what was it, Australian or was it
Yes,
German?
I think he was pretending to be German.
Okay, that's what it was. So this guy, like a new hire, a temporary hire, he like came to a cafe I think one time, and he had a German accent, and like that was super noticeable because don't really hear those. And then later on, I heard him talking in the break room. I go, seems to have lost his accent. And then me and Ryan were like clocking out or something. And that guy came up to us, and he started speaking in a German accent. And then Ryan started speaking in a German accent. And then, that was the end of the conversation. And we left, and I was like, Ryan, I don't think he's German. And then you said, surprise, I'm not German.
I
And
I am German though.
what?
Partially, yeah.
Whoa.
So there you go misremembering things.
Well, I don't know if you said, surprise, I'm a little bit German. I don't know.
I would have said surprise I don't know German maybe.
Okay. Well, it's been like,
I don't know.
look, the moral of the story is you didn't have a German accent. He didn't have a German accent. So why were you guys both doing accents to each other?
I think like he like asked us something like really obviously like trollish like, "Oh, do you guys like the Hefewurst in your strudel or something?" And I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh yeah."
I remember just not wanting to be there. In the middle of
Yeah.
two guys doing an accent to each other, I was like, I could leave.
Yeah, they're doing an accent to each other.
We started doing something afterwards. I was like, oh man, I gotta be here. It
We need
was.
to play board games in Starbucks for hours and hours.
I think back now, and I think, how could we do that? It's. It was definitely like. It was like just like the timing of it. We just all hung out at Target.
Yeah, because we're
It's weird.
dope. We're cool. That's why.
Yeah, we're cool.
Fucking sick.
Yeah, we were the cool kids playing what, Monopoly at Target.
Did we play? I feel like that's the one game we wouldn't play. It was
I
because
thought we
it's
played
so complicated.
the
Mario
Mario
Kart
Kart.
Monopoly?
Yeah,
We might have done that once.
we did
Remember, we
what,
played a bunch of
Taboo.
Mario Kart. We played
We
Mario
played a
Kart
whole bunch,
out the
and we
ass.
played Mario Party there too.
Played Mario Party. We played Taboo. We played Telestrations. We played
Yeah, Telestration was really fun. We played Coo.
Cool. Oh yeah. A
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Duke.
a fellow Duke.
Yes. Duke as well. I should get actual coup just so I'd have actual coup. I don't have to
Yeah.
fucking make a bunch of bullshit cards.
Did we play werewolf there?
I don't think so. We didn't play werewolf that much. We played it like once.
I really liked it.
Someone's house. Yeah.
I really liked it. I love games that involve flying.
They're
I
pretty
think they're
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
I think
Like
they're
coup.
fun. Like Coup.
Coup's a good one.
One game that we did play, which I think is weird now that I'm thinking about it. We played Phase 10 there. I
Yeah.
played it like during our lunch. I was like, "Who's free? Who wants to play Phase 10 with me?" We played Uno a lot. Uno was like a banger.
A lot of them.
We played a lot of Uno. And it's so weird to think that we would just play there because like even we had like managers come up to us and be like, "Oh, you're still here? You guys are playing games? Can I play?"
No.
That was
We're just in the middle right now. We can't like. Maybe next one. We'll call you back in like 30 minutes, and then we never do that.
Then we'd leave. We're playing a game. I think we're playing Never Have I Ever.
Yeah.
And then when my manager was like, "Are you guys playing D&D?" And I was like, "What?"
What the
They
fuck
look.
does it look like to you?
I was like, "That looks nothing alike. What are you talking about?" I think Never Have I Ever was the funnest I had
Yeah.
playing the games, but only because people that like we
Yeah.
were friends with, but we weren't like good friends with
People
them. They would play with
outside
us.
of the cafe Starbucks orbit would come
Food
in, and
Avenue.
we would learn so much about them.
In a short amount of time. It was a lot of information. I think mainly me and you played with other people, probably because well, I think we like our schedules are pretty aligned.
Dude, I love playing Never Have I Ever. You learn, it's like maybe the best uh, bonding exercise you could do.
I was gonna say we should play again, but I think we know each other pretty well. We know each other too well.
I don't know, we haven't gotten to the bottom of the deck, have we? There's always
I don't know.
questions.
I remember we were playing Werewolf like that second time we played it, and I don't know. I had a feeling that like everyone was telling the truth that they weren't a werewolf, and I was like, I'm not a werewolf, and it sounds like everyone else is telling the truth. And I just like I remember turning to look at you, and you had on a big stinky grin. I was like, I was like, this guy's a stinker. No, I was like, hey guys, how about this? How about let's try on this thought that I have. What if Ryan just gave everyone villager cards and he was just trying to make us like choose? And everyone's like, yeah, it kind of sounds like a Ryan thing to do. I was like, it's kind of stinky. And then you were like, my plan is ruined. I felt so smart that one time. I was like, I got him. Ryan's stinky plan. I was very happy.
Shit.
Take that.
That's unfortunate that you remembered that. So then I can't do it again immediately.
No,
Oh.
I found new games for us to play.
Oh.
And which I think would be fun. Whenever when I'm not sick, or I'll just tell you and you can play them with your other friends.
Yeah, I like to have fun without you because if I wait for you, it could be waiting forever. Have fun.
Ryan, the last time I went to your house, my car ended up almost exploding. Did I tell you about that?
I think what you're driving Marco around.
Yeah, I was trying. I was driving him home, and I parked the car, and I was gonna turn it off, but he was like, "Oh, let me just I'm gonna leave right now. Let me just tell you something. And so we started talking for like 5 minutes, and then my car had like it. There was like an alert, and I was like, "Your car is too hot. Turn it off for your own safety." And I was like, "Uh oh, that sounds scary."
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
So I turned my car off. But it was, and then after that, it's been a whole big deal where I still haven't driven my car. It's been like almost a month now. Yeah, it's been like almost a month. And every time, like, oh, yo, Ryan's having his thing tonight. I can't go. My car blew up. So I hold it all against you. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's been a great podcast. Can't wait to
Yeah.
edit the one before this. Do you have any parting thoughts for the audience of mostly our friends?
Well, I want them all to think of if they've ever heard my girlfriend's in Canada. And if you have, where have you heard it? Tell me. Also,
Leave it
let's
in the comments.
leave in the comments. Also, can everyone just like go to Twitter and then at Chingy and just go, hey Chingy, how are you? Are you okay? Just like let's all check in on
Yeah,
Chingy.
let's do Chingy mental health check.
We should have a segment. It's just checking on Chingy.
Everyone, think about Chingy for once.
Please think about Chingy. I wonder how he's doing. What is Chingy doing? Is what I wonder. Um, that's it.
Okay, bye.